Good afternoon, everyone. This is Yichin Chen from the Daya University, Taiwan. The topic I want to present is applying aerotopsis and SWOT to evaluate competitive ability of leisure farm after COVID-19. The COVID-19 has significantly had impacted the global economic, political, social, cultural system. And right now, the travel and mobility bans have the whole goal global travel, tourism, and leisure. In terms of the development dilemma, it was known that the main operating problem faced by the current leisure farm tourism are lack of work and the lack of the marketing ability. The goal of this research is to evaluate the competitive ability of the leisure farm under this high uncertainty environment by aerotopsis and SWOT. TOPSIS is one of the multi-criteria-based decision-making method technique, which is the appropriate for the assessment of the expected service quality. There are two examples. The other one is the TOPSIS incorporate the fuzzy model on agricultural farm for optimal allocation and used by this TOPSIS to decide which one is the good. And the other one is TOPSIS was applied in the current study to find the most appropriate location for installation wind turbine. TOPSIS is called a technique for order performance by similarity to ideal solution. The advantage of TOPSIS, we can see that TOPSIS logic is rational and understandable. The computation process are straightforward. The concept permits the pursuit the best alternatives for each criterion depicted in a simple mathematical form, and the important weights are incorporated into the comparison procedure. Linguistic TOPSIS we call aerotopsis. This one modification of the TOPSIS model to make it so that the output of the process is the same as the input with the linguistic form. The multiple criteria decision making is the procedure to consist in finding the best alternative among a set of feasible alternatives, like the matrix MCDM matrix like here as shown on the slide. The notation of proposed aerotopsis method. Here we define the leisure form, criteria set, criterion weight set, decision matrix, weight decision matrix, decision maker set, and so on. Algorithm of TOPSIS. TOPSIS is based on the concept that the chosen alternative should have the shortest geometric distance from the positive ideal solution we call PIS, and the longest geometric distance from the negative ideal solution we call the NIS. For example, the overall performance index for each leisure form we call the PI is thus computed by this formula as shown on the slide. Then we come to evaluation by aerotopsis. The leisure farm organized the committee and invited 5 experts into this committee. After discussion, 5 experts, we call it E1 to E5, decide the performance of the 4 leisure farm P1 and P4. This one is case leisure A1 and its competitor A2 to A4 to evaluate the competitive ability after the COVID-19. And here the criteria are shown as follows. Image the leisure form, tourism resource, location, customer volume in the past year, financial status, and the human resources. Step 1, then we use the linguistic definition to collect the 5 experts' opinion. Here we use a 9 level ranging from extreme poor to extreme good. And also the weighting, we use the criteria from the extreme low to extreme high, as the table shown here. And we organize the matrix for each criteria and for every expert for 4 ledger form. And we can show here, they are from the notation of the linguistics. And also the expert opinion with the weight for each ledger form too. Then we follow step 2 to step 8, then to go to calculate and by software to use for the topses. Through the step 1 to 8, the matrix calculation as well as applying topses software rank, the rank of the overall performance index for each ledger form could be decided according to the overall performance index for each ledger form. Finally, the rank of the performance for each ledger form is the P3 greater than P1 greater than P4 greater than P2, and the objective ledger form is the P1. So here we can see the case ledger form A1 and its competitive A2 to A4. The compatibility of the case ledger form A1 is in the middle rank of the Taiwan ledger form industry. Also, we use the SWOT to evaluate those ledger form. Then we have the strengths, like the volume of the employee in case ledger form is high. And compared with the competitor, the function of digital website developed by the case ledger form is high too. But weakness is the lack of new equipment to attract the citizen to go to the travel case ledger form. Also the threat, there are 4 threats. The finish time of the COVID-19 is uncertain. And there are more and more citizens that do not have the money to travel in the short period due to the COVID-19. Investors do not want to invest ledger fund right now, also according to the COVID-19. Few people want to work in the ledger farm. That's the same problem due to the COVID-19. And the conclusion. The goal of this research is to evaluate the competitive ability of ledger fund under this high uncertainty environment after COVID-19 epidemic. According to the quasi-experience result from the autopsies, we can know that the competitive ability of the case ledger firm is the middle rank of Taiwan ledger firm industry. Based on the SWOT analysis result too, we also can know the case ledger firm possesses the good image for consumer and tourism resource, financial status, and the position of the casual firm is good. Ledger firm lack novel equipment to attract citizens to go to travel case ledger firm, even during the COVID-19 epidemic situation. This research suggests that the case ledger firm should develop some new idea to attract citizens by using their digital strengths. So that's the conclusion for this presentation, and that is the paper. So thank you for your listening.